Meet Deb. After earning her master's in education, Deb became a teacher at a middle school in her Seattle neighborhood, teaching algebra and geometry. As Deb began her teaching career, her personal goal was to improve the quality of her students' learning as much as possible. But she also understood that her district had expectations for standardized test scores that she needed to meet. Not long after beginning her job, Deb realized that there were a lot of obstacles to getting her students to learn. For example, Deb spends a lot of her time coming up with homework and then grading it, leaving her with less time to plan lessons and work with students. Because Deb teaches students with different learning styles and speeds, she wishes she could customize homework assignments based on the students' needs to both improve learning and help students perform better on standardized tests. She also wishes she had an easier way to grade homework that would consume less of her time. Deb also struggles with below-average test scores for her students. The students' capabilities vary greatly from one to the next, and she finds herself spending significant class time bringing the slower learners up to speed, which decreases the faster learners' learning potential. As a result, the average learning decreases and test scores suffer. Not to mention, Deb has to deal with the problematic students. When she spends too much time lecturing students, they can get unruly or bored and have trouble focusing. One day, Deb was becoming really frustrated with her workload and lagging student performance. The tests were fast approaching, and pressure was mounting from her school and parents to get the kids up to speed. So, she contacted a friend who was a teacher in another school district. The friend raved about how Khan Academy transformed her classroom and recommended that Deb give it a try. So Deb went home and researched Khan online. She read the impressive teacher testimonials and tried the service herself. Immediately, Deb could envision the many ways in which she could leverage the service to tailor homework to individual students, optimizing learning for all of her students. As Deb began to become more confident and comfortable with the Khan learning environment, she began to explore additional content that was relevant to the interests of the students, and began assigning extra credit Khan assignments. Deb had grown so passionate about Khan Academy that when Khan's team approached her to become a Khan ambassador, she happily accepted. She was eager to translate her success to other teachers in her network and encourage parents to try it out for other subjects as well. So what is this Khan Ambassador program we're recommending anyway? A Khan Ambassador is a teacher who regularly uses Khan to enhance their students' learning and is passionate about Khan's ability to make a difference in student success. This person should be chosen by Khan through observing behavior on the website or through a nomination system where existing ambassadors can recommend their peers. It will serve as Khan's touch point in a given school or geographic area. Ambassadors will receive training from Khan about how to best use Khan to enhance the classroom experience, and will then serve as an advocate for Khan to their colleagues. They will encourage and teach their peers how to use Khan in the classroom, and will be available to provide support and troubleshooting when needed. A Khan ambassador should be someone who is already influential in their school and trusted by other teachers, so that they can play this unique role impacting those around them. The goal of Khan is not to replace the role of the teacher, so it is very important that teachers hear from someone in their shoes about the ways Khan can improve learning and reduce their frustrations without feeling threatened. So what do ambassadors get in return for this loyalty? Khan will create a network that spans the country and perhaps even the world, where ambassadors can connect with each other, share tips, share suggestions, and share success stories with one another. Teachers can use this to their advantage either in career progression or just to learn from each other. At a minimum, we recommend that Khan seek to have one Khan ambassador per school district throughout the country, and preferably one per school. Now you might be wondering why we think teachers are the key to unlocking Khan's full potential, since Khan is a tool mostly for the learners. However, we found that teachers who have learned to use Khan to improve their classrooms are the most passionate about it. It simply makes their lives easier, and they love Khan for it. Teachers are also the biggest influencers of demand because they can be decision makers or guides. Teachers who want to use Khan in their classroom or to assign homework have a great ability to reach out to large numbers of students, and those students may continue to use Khan long after they're done with that class. Teachers are also the go-to people for trustworthy advice on education, so students or their parents can reach out to them in situations where kids need extra help outside of school. Right now, Khan is only reaching out to 25 schools across the country and mainly just to gather feedback. In fact, only a few hundred schools out of 125,000 are known to be using Khan in any capacity. That is a huge amount of untapped demand, and teachers are the key. If you're wondering why this ambassador program is the right answer, there are a few reasons that we'd like to share. Number one, most people believe they're close friends and colleagues when they need help, and ambassadors are in a great position to give such advice since they are teachers who already use Khan Academy's contents and services to help their students. Unlike advertising, ambassadors are real-life teachers that work with the fellow teachers every day. They are the great influencers because they are reliable sources of knowledge. The help they provide is real-time, trustworthy, and in context as they are familiar with their school, students, and district. Ambassadors can represent Khan Academy on every campus to help other teachers achieve higher performance. Number two, some teachers may hesitate to use Khan Academy because they are afraid of technical issues, unfamiliarity with the user interface that is not as developed as other tools, or they might be suspicious of its effectiveness. Ambassadors can demonstrate the usefulness and effectiveness of Khan to their fellow teachers in person and be the go-to people who would put those around them at ease with regards to needing technical help. If teachers have any suggestions for improvement, a Khan ambassador can also pass on that feedback to Khan directly and quickly. Finally, number three, teachers who have discovered the wonders of Khan and joined the program are already highly motivated to promote it and increase their impact and reputation in their workplace. They would love to use this useful online education system to help their colleagues and spearhead progress in their districts. The ambassador program will help Khan Academy to further engage with these teachers. Not only can Khan promote its service to more teachers this way, but it can learn from those teachers about how to improve Khan and make Khan a better educational tool. So, what does Khan need to do in order to make the Khan Ambassador program a success? First, we need to make sure that ambassadors are chosen correctly. That means there's a selective process for who gets to become an ambassador. Not just anyone can volunteer to sign up. Ambassadors will be selected through data mining, followed by a rigorous screening process that chooses well-respected teachers who are passionate about the difference that Khan has made in their classroom. We also need to build recognition and opportunities for growth, exposure, and networking into the program by rewarding ambassadors for great work that advances Khan Academy's mission. This enables us to reinforce the right behaviors in our ambassadors and create positive examples for the rest of the community. Not only would this program help teachers advance their careers by being advocates, but it would also include teacher-specific content that would need to be generated to help them in using the program and perfecting their teaching techniques. In addition, most teachers are required to dedicate a part of their time toward continuing education through training programs or other professional development activities outside of the classroom. So it is vital that we integrate with school districts to make the Khan Ambassador program eligible for these continuing education hours. It sounds simple, but doing this will make teachers' lives a lot easier and make the program that much more attractive. Finally, it wouldn't be Khan without a great way to interact with the website. The all-new Khan Ed section on the site will enable ambassadors from around the country to interact, share what's working in their classrooms and communities, and get the tools they need. With all the right tools and the right people in place, we now have the chance to grow Khan by leaps and bounds and fulfill our mission, providing a world-class education for free to anyone, anywhere.